My guest tonight is a very talented comedian and actor who's been on Superstore, Black Monday, and in I Feel Pretty. He is the co-host of a brand new podcast from Team Coco called Dad's the Podcast. Please welcome our good friend, the hilarious Rory Scovel. Rory, old pal, how are you?
I am so good. I am doing so great.
Really?
I'm not mentally affected or physically affected by the current state of the world. I am terrific.
I've been doing a lot of Zoom interviews with a lot of people. Your setting looks the shittiest. I'm going to say that right now.
And that's what I was going for. There's a lot of people out there. Look, here's who you've had as guests, Conan. Liars. They want to decorate back here. They want to go, things are great. They're it's like Instagram, what people are doing on Instagram. Not me. Not me. I didn't even put that there for anyone who can read it.
You can barely read it. I love that even your sign promoting your new show, Robbie, on Comedy Central is impossible to read.
I didn't put that there. I would never take credit for that.
All right. Well, listen, we got a lot to talk about, you rascal, you.
That's right.
I was thinking about your life. You're a road comic. You're constantly on the go. You're always away from your daughter. It must be so nice for you to be spending time with her.
It is. My wife probably wishes I could get back out on the road right about now. But yeah, with my daughter, we're playing games nonstop. And when you're gone, you go on the road, you come back. That's what the relationship is. To actually be home is a whole new type of relationship. And it's great. It's the best.
That's good. Oh, there she is. Hi, Elliot.
Did you see Conan? Say hi, Conan.
Hi, you look pretty, Elliot.
Thanks.
This is mine. Who told you you could borrow that?
She stole that from you. That's terrible.
Daddy,
What? Hide and go seek? I am talking to Conan, but why don't you hide, and then I will come and get you.
Are you really going to find me, or are you just going to tickle me into a tickle fest?
Well, I'll do both. If I find you, you are getting tickled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
You better get out of here. Get! You get!
So she's going to go.
Oh, I didn't want America to see that I talked to her like that.
Is she going to? She's going to hide now, and then you're going to go.
Here's the thing. Hide and go seek is one of the best games. These kids, they don't know how long it takes to be found, and if they commit to the hiding place, it's a good hour, 2 hours of just catching up on some golf. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think that's so wait, you just are going to let her hide somewhere in the house for up to 2-3 hours?
Yeah, and adrenaline is pumping the whole time. My adrenaline's pumping because I'm getting some stuff done. I'm watching TV and,
Okay. Yeah, that sounds, and when you...
One time she came out, she was hiding and she came out and I was having ice cream, and that was very traumatizing for her.
For her, not for you.
No,
for her.
The best for me.
All right. Well, you should go and. Why are you drinking out of a jar?
Vodka in a jar. Starting a new company. It's called Vodka in a Jar. Oh. Nothing says issues like vodka in a jar.
I think you're going to make a lot of money. Let's talk about this tour that you went on. Okay.
Yes.
Can I talk about that? This is
I'd love to.
You did a tour, and I get some credit here. I think your favorite band is Tool.
That's right.
And you announced a tour, comedians following Tool on tour, the tour. And this was just a tour where you followed your favorite band, Tool, and watched them. And you went to whatever city they were in and did comedy there. Totally self-serving.
Yes. That's 100% true. And we announced that tour on your show. And you get more than just a little bit of credit. You get a ton of credit because when I came on the show and I announced the tour, the guitarist for the band, Adam Jones, saw that interview and he reached out and he gave us full access to go backstage passes at all the shows, floor seats at all the shows, hanging out. We had dinner. He came to see some stand-up shows.
So basically,
it was insane.
You used me. You used me.
Yes.
To get close to your favorite band.
That's exactly right.
For what, like 2 months while your lovely, cute daughter we just met was at home alone?
Well, she might have been alone, but she was hiding. She was hiding for 2 straight months. Probably set some kind of a record.
You sound like a pathologically terrible dad. And now you have a podcast called Dads, and it's on my podcast network, and you're hosting. And this is a podcast where it's not just a podcast for dads. You're talking about a lot of different issues involving fatherhood. Is that correct?
That is correct. Myself and Ruthie Wyatt, who you know, we co-host the show together, and we have on different guests like yourself. Today is the first episode that drops, and for everyone who listens, Conan made us have him on. He said, if you want this thing to work, you got to have the hot stuff right up front.
Yeah.
So he was our first episode, and we talk about being a dad. We talk about having a dad. It's not just for dads, though. We also have non-dads on the show that we interview to get perspectives about parenting and their relationships with their dads or stepdads.
I had a really good time talking to you. And like I said, I did think it was important when you launch a podcast, you have to have the hot stuff. That's what I said.
And that is available for everybody, wherever you get your podcast. You can check out our interview with Conan right now. And then once a week, we'll be releasing a new episode. We have so many coming up. John Leguizamo, David Cross, Sabrina Jalise, Vanessa Ragland. The list goes on and on.
No, it's
Andrew Richter.
Mm-hmm.
One of our
guests. We call him Andy.
Not me. He makes me call him Andrew. Sir Andrew Richter.
Sir. You have to call him Sir Andrew Richter. Wow.
Yeah, I asked. I was like, don't you have to be knighted? But he said that is technically his first name. Andrew is his middle name. So
now I want to point something out to you, Rory. For most of this interview, you've been looking sort of slightly away from me. And I think it's probably because of where your camera is or something. Yeah. But I'm telling you that it makes you look untrustworthy. For most of the interview, you've been going, I really enjoy working with you, Conan. And it's that weird.
I'm just reading the cue cards of the person you hired to come over here. You think I want to say hot stuff? I was told I had to say that, or the interview.
There's no cue cards.
Ends.
There's no cue cards. I'm over here.
That's not even, and just for the listeners, that's not a real guitar. That's a green screen behind him. His basement is worse than mine.
You're not looking at me. Why are you not looking at me?
The Zoom thing is so hard to figure out.
No, everyone else.
But then I'm looking up here.
I'm right here. Everyone else is able to do
it.
You,
Conan! Conan!
This is you the whole interview. I want to tell you something, Conan, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Well, I have the screen over here of you, so I'm trying to see you. But I should be looking at the camera that's up here. So then I can only sort of see. Look, everyone watching this right now, they all know the Zoom deal. If you don't know the Zoom deal by now, what's going on? You know the Zoom deal. You're over here. I got to look here. It's not right. It's not right.
Okay. Now listen to me. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm glad to finally see your eyes. It's nice. Yeah. You're a handsome fellow. You're a good-looking guy.
You mean that? Because I have not had a haircut in about 5 months.
Oh, really? Because I'm getting my hair cut constantly.
You look good. You really do look good.
You know.
I guess I have to say that without even looking over to see if I truly believe it, because I have to keep my eyes on this camera. Here's me seeing if I think it. Yeah, you look. I like it.
You're like, no, you look good. Huh? For a guy that's trapped in the shittiest basement I've seen in a while, you are a busy, busy man. You got a Comedy Central series. It's a digital series, and it's called Robbie. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Robbie?
So Robbie is the main character. When you talk about it like this, no one gets interested. Robbie is the main character, and he likes basketball. He likes coaching it.
So he's a basketball coach.
He's a church league basketball coach. He's very delusional about his talent and value, and he wants to take over his dad, Bo Bridges. He wants to take over his dad's job as the high school basketball coach. And the series is really about relationships and Robbie learning that maybe it's time to grow up, and also how do we do that if we're in our 30s? I'm 40 now, and I still don't know that.
No,
I made this sign, and I'm only now realizing, based on you seeing it, that it's not even adequate. You said,
No.
look, I lost some space here, and I had to do words on top of words.
No, that is a cry for help if ever I've seen one. You know, I hear you describe Robbie as this deluded man-child living out his fantasies, and it's hard for me not to think Robbie, Rory. Do you know what I mean?
I wrote from a very real place, if that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
Robbie's not so different from me. Robbie's not so different from America. You know what I mean? The show is about facing some hard truths in order to grow in the right direction, and I believe that's kind of where we're at. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
A little bit of this vodka real quick. I didn't think I was going to get so deep out of the gate.
Vodka in a jar, your other experiment gone awry. You have a pretty strong accent in the show, your character. Now, I know you're from the South.
Yes.
And when I first met you, I think the first time you did stand-up on my show, I swear to God, I don't remember what year that was. I think it was 2012. I'm pretty good with years. I'm pretty sure it was 2012. You came on the show as a stand-up. You had a pretty strong Southern accent. I hate to put you on the spot, but here's a clip of you in 2012 on my show, and you sound like Gomer Pyle. Let's take a look.
It starts tonight. We put a new Occupy movement together. We go down to Lunchables, and we yell at the buildings, y'all are the worst kind of crackers. Because that's where they yell at all the protests, you know?
Explain that. Explain why your accent was so... Okay, no.
You don't know what the people at home are doing. They're probably clapping, right?
I have a monitor here on Everyone in America. No.
The ultimate Zoom? You're on the ultimate Zoom, right?
I have a Zoom of Everyone in America. It shows 360 million little faces, and no, not one person clapping.
Yeah.
Were you faking that accent? That you were putting a little English on the ball? You know?
I do that. Yeah. It's fun to do that because then it leaves people guessing. Is this guy really Southern? Sometimes I do a German guy. Sometimes I just do my own voice, and then people... They don't know which one is which. And honestly, I get so deep into these characters as a professional actor, as I'm often described. And because of that, sometimes I stay in those spaces. I really don't know what my real voice is anymore either. So
yeah. Well,
and that could be a little bit of the vodka also.
Yeah, a little bit of the vodka and a little bit of the looking away. You don't know.
You can't stop doing it.
You can't relate to people. There's people out there doing bedtime stories online to help, put people to sleep at night. You're doing something similar. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, early on, there were a lot of people that were trying to help parents out and say, hey, let me read to your kid for a little bit or at night or whatever. I'll read a book. And I thought, that's great. But, who's reading stories to these adults to help them get to sleep at night? And so I'd like to read a little bit of one here for you now, kind of see if you don't mind hyping it on the show. This is kind of good. This is good press for me.
Great. Okay, this is Rory Scovel. This is available, I guess. It's going to be available reading bedtime stories to little ones.
So this is just the start of chapter 3.
Okay.
By now, it was very clear to the both of them that it was only a matter of time till they would be thrusting their bodies aggressively into one another. They couldn't wait for the night to start and the day to end so that they could dip into a little bit of the wine and perhaps each other. He saw her eyes from across the room and she saw his. And he noticed as she sexily walked across the room that it was time to get handsy and have a little bit of fun.
I don't think you should be reading this to kids. What book is this?
Oh, I don't read it to kids. This is for adults. This is for their parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the book?
This is one of my own I've been working on. It's called The Devil's Christmas. It's that's just the start of chapter 3. So you can imagine that I cut to the chase pretty quick. I get those first 2 chapters out of the way. Who are they? What's their relationship? And I get them in the cabin together very quickly.
Oh, they're in a cabin. Okay.
Well, it snowed outside. They're trapped there. They don't have their clothes or their luggage.
Don't imagine how that would have happened.
Well, if you lose your luggage, you lose your clothes, right?
You got me there, Stop looking off to the side. Look at me. Look at me right here.
So hard to do. Does this look like I'm looking at you?
Yes.
Are
Right
you
now.
looking at me?
Yes, I'm
Don't,
looking.
Don't move your eyes. What color is my shirt?
Your shirt is blue.
Maybe you are. Maybe you are right.
I'm not like you. I'm an honest person. Everything you've said so far is a sham or a lie. You didn't write that book. You're not on
I don't have a show. I don't have a podcast or a show. I just wanted to be on here. I don't know how to get on TV. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, clearly this meant a lot to you and you chose the prime location. By the way, how long, where is your daughter has been missing a long time. Is she okay?
Oh yeah. No, I got to go look for her. I like to use, Elliot. This is how she knows I'm coming. If I find you, I'm gonna eat you!
Jesus. No. Rory, no, that's not good. That's
Well,
terrifying.
she's been hiding for that long. It's like you got to get the adrenaline going again. She probably fell asleep in a closet or something.
That's horrific. That was horrifying. It's 11 o'clock at night. What a terrible thing to do.
Yeah, she shouldn't be up. It's kind of her fault. I hope she hid in her bed.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I get these plugs out. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call them in the biz. You know what a plug is? That's what I plug what you're up to.
All right. All right.
All episodes of Robbie are current. Look at me. That's it. Just stay right there.
This is me the whole interview.
Yeah, you should have done that the whole time and had no expression. All episodes of Robbie are currently available on Comedy Central's YouTube channel. Yeah. And the first episode of Dads, the podcast with Team Coco, was released today. And this is you and I having a conversation, and it was a lot of fun. And you really, you're very insightful. You're also a very funny man. New episodes are available every Wednesday, so be listening for those.
Thank you so much, Conan. I appreciate that.